Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. And today we are going to talk about gold. We're going to talk about my entries, my profit targets, and anything else that can help you become a better trader, especially when it comes to this market. So here is the setup from last week. I just posted a video about how I made profit from the setup inside of this video. So go ahead and check that one. It's the one right before this. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of these drawings. And then let's just go ahead and start on the weekly. Cool. So if we zoom in quite a bit on gold, we can see that there was a really bullish candle, a really big bullish candle a few weeks back, and then there was a week bullish, and then all these bearish candles right here. Price could basically do anything. Right now it's at the top of the market, so I would imagine that price would want to come back down and then maybe go up, especially since FOMC is a couple of weeks from now. If you don't know what that is the Federal Open Market Committee, where basically they decide the interest rates, and of course that has an effect on gold. So based on what we know today, let's go ahead and come up with a game plan for next week. So the first thing I want to do on this market is I want to mark off this level right here at 2412. And that has been a really interesting area this past week. If you watch the other video, then you'll see what I'm talking about. But basically, when it comes to this level, I want to mark it off mainly because we have a nice resistance here. And then also I want to clone this level, and I want to also put it right around 25.29. As we go down to lower time frames, we will refine this, but right now this looks good. So let me go ahead and copy this again. And the other level that I want to mark off is right at the bottom of this week's wick right here. And this is at 24.72, mainly because this was also a really interesting level this week. And then if you look a couple weeks ago, you can see that price was in this zone before it pushed up. So very important level. So now let's go ahead and go to the daily time frame, and then let me adjust so we could see this. Amazing. So one of the things that I see is that this level that we marked off at 25.29, this is still looking good, mainly because we have this rejection here. We have a couple rejections here, and then this one that we marked off from the weekly. So that's looking good so far. This level right here, I may want to adjust it, but for right now, I'm going to leave it alone. And then another thing that I see here, I actually want to clone. And then I actually want to mark off this level around 24.91, especially because we have a nice support here. And then we did see price push up. Although today's NFP news took the gold market in a crazy direction, we still see market structure here, and we still want to, it's still being respected. So we definitely want to take note of that. At this point right here, this is still looking good. We also have a nice resistance here. So I am going to clone this level, and then I'm going to create a support at 24.47. That's looking good. And then if we look left, we can also see somewhat of a resistance level right here. We can also see 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that are rejecting. If you just wanted to drag this over, see that lining up, it's not 100%. You could probably do it on lower time frames, but it's not really necessary. Just this right here should be the focus. At least the way I'm doing my chart. Do whatever you want. So let's go ahead and copy this level right here. And then we're just going to place this at 23.81, mainly because we have a nice support here. We do have a really big rejection. We also have a nice support here as well. And then we do have some price action over here, but we don't really need to look at that for right now. So just looking at the chart, everything is looking quite nice here on the daily time frame. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And then, of course, adjust it so we could make sense of this. All right, cool. All right, so far, everything is looking good, except for this thing. I want to move this up just a little bit. So now we're pretty much at 25.30 on this line. Basically, we have a resistance level right here. We still have all these rejections, and then this rejection from today. This is a nice support level. As you can see, price is respecting this level right here that we drew at, what was this, 25.13. respecting it nicely. Look at all the support right here. And then if we were to go over, we can also see some support right there as well. We see a resistance, but basically it is respecting this level so much. So I actually do like this level now. All right, cool. So if we look at this next level, we do have a little bit of a support right here because we have the bearish and the bullish candle together. And next, we do have all these rejections right here. We have rejections right here. We do have a resistance level right there, but not really worried about that. Great, everything looks good. So another thing I want to look at is this level right here at 2471. We do have two rejections right here, and then we also have a nice resistance level right here, and actually really strong resistance level because we have one, two, three resistances. So what I want to do with this is I actually want to push this up to about 2472. I only moved it up about 10 pips or so, but I really want to see how this looks on lower time frames now that I have this lined up with this level over here, and then we still have all these rejections. All right, so let's see. So the next thing I want to look at is this level right here at 2446. Let's see how it may look if I move, if I can tap it. If we move the level down to 2443. Let's see how it looks at 2440. You know what? I'm going to go at 2440, especially because 2440 is a nice psychological level. And you can see that it's basically sitting at this level perfectly. We still have the support, the rejection, and then we got some nice price action over here. Still looks good. I don't think I'm going to draw any other. Actually, I do have a level down here. So I was thinking about drawing some levels in here. I'm not quite sure at this point, but this is looking really good in this section right here, especially because we have nice supports. And then we do have this level right here. Let me see how this would look. Oh, you know what? I think I want to keep it because it's at 23, roughly 80. But let's see how it looks if we move it around. Oops, let me move that. It didn't go away, but anyway, but let's move this around. So this is at 2377, but this is more so recent right here. I'm just going to keep this level right here. We have nice supports, we have rejections, and we do have some consolidation right here, but I want to prioritize most recent price action. So that's looking really good to me. All right, so now this is our H4. Let's go to H2 really quick. And we shouldn't have that much to do on these lower time frames because we spent the bulk of our time on the higher time frames. All right, great. So now that we got these levels, this is looking still really good. I actually do want to slide this down, see how this will look if I slide it down. It didn't really change anything. So we're just going to keep this at 2512. That is looking good. And we still got these levels over here. I'm just trying to look to the left and make sure that it still makes sense. And it does, so we're going to leave that. So right here, this area is looking a little interesting. We still got these wicks here. On lower time frames, they may turn into candles. Looking at price action right here, we do see resistance. So I want to see how this looks if we push this up. So let's go ahead and push it up to 2475. I'm really liking this level. It's a nice roundish number, and it seems that gold really respects psychological numbers. Not 100%, but I've seen it more times than not. So anyway, I like that, and that's looking great. And then let's just scroll down a bit, zoom in, so that way we can see everything. Perfect. All right, so looking at this level down here, this was a nice round number, and I do like it. Good. I was trying to make sure I didn't have any other other levels drawn. And then this time frame before we get into the fun part of coming up with a game plan for the next week. All right, so we go like this. Okay, so just looking at it, just kind of eyeballing it, everything looks really good. We did all the hard work on the higher time frames. So there is something that I'm seeing right here at this level that I may want to adjust a bit. Actually, let me see how that looks. If I zoom out, I always have to look at the bigger picture before I start messing with. All right, I'm just looking over to the left just to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Okay, so this is actually looking really good. You know, let's see, if I push this down here, this is 80, this is 88, 88. And there's craziness happening in here, but I do like this nice support level. Let's go over. Oh, you know what? This is lining up really well with these sections over here. So I was looking at this level right here, or this section, and I wanted to make sure that it still made sense if I moved this level down to 24.88.85 roughly, and it does. So we're just going to keep that right here for right now. And then this level, I think I want to adjust it. Let me see if I push this down, making sure that I'm close to the bodies. So 74, 73. I still like this. We got a support. We got rejections. Let's scoot over. We got a rejection right there. Oh, and then we got these resistance levels. Let me do this. So, okay. So actually, I'm just going to put that back because I really like my price being lined up with this over here. It still makes sense over here for the most part. Oops. It still makes sense. So we're just going to leave that. Now we're going to go to the section where I come up with my game plan for the week. If you haven't gone to profitabletradersacademy.com, then you are definitely missing out. Right now, I am doing this group in order to help you become a confident trader and get on the path to making an extra $1,000 per month inside of the market. It's not as hard as a lot of people make it, and this group is to make it as simple as possible. You've already watched the videos. Some of you have made money, past challenges, made money from those challenges. So I'm giving you the opportunity to be able to work with me, ask questions from the things that you're seeing inside of the market with my help. So this isn't just some course. It is basically you getting the opportunity to not only learn from me, but also be able to ask me questions in real time. So go ahead and go to profitabletradersacademy.com. Join the membership and I'll see you there. Here we are on the H1 time frame, and one of the things that I want to mark off initially is this level right here around, make sure that the line is straight. All right, cool. So I see, and I'm going to move this up mainly because I see these rejections. All right, so the initial game plan for me, my bias is buys for the most part. So we do have FOMC coming up in a few weeks, and I believe that there will be opportunities to buy and sell during this time period. So I want to mark up my game plan for buys and my game plan for sales. So for right now, what I'm seeing is also seeing all of this, so basically from here all the way up to here, and then that is looking good to me. Probably not looking at anything, at least not at the moment, inside of this zone right here. So we're just going to leave this alone. And then I do see shorting opportunities potentially through here. So basically going in the opposite direction, going down to 24.76 kind of level. And then actually, let me get rid of this and then let me measure this zone just to make sure that it's enough based on my trading plan. Oh, yeah, this is, 120 pips. Perfect. All right, cool. So this is a shorting opportunity, but I'm more so bullish. So basically, based on what I saw inside of the market this week, or especially today, what my game plan would be for the continued buys would be actually up to here. So, and then this is 25, oops, this is 25, 25, 22. If price was to break up above this level and then continued up, this is where I would want to see it and would probably want to get out and just take my money and run. So that would be an idea. And this is 95 pips. So that's actually a really decent range. And then if we're looking to the downside, we have to scoot in a bit. So that way we could see more of the chart. We have to scoot in quite a bit. And it's okay if you can't see the candles 100% as long as you got the general idea of what's happening inside of the market. So like I said, in this spot, this will be kind of, it will be a short selling or shorting opportunity, but I'm mostly bullish. So one of the other ideas that I have as far as my game plan for this week is if price was to come down here, I would actually want to get a bounce off of this level and then continue up. So that would be another idea that I would have inside of the market. So this level right here for me is a major kind of level, and it's basically So below this level, I would be looking more so for sells. And just to make this a little bit more clear, I put this bar here, and this is around 24.7675. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but as long as you're in the vicinity, it's good. And then another idea I have, like I said, would be more so buys above this level. So looking to the left, one of the things that I see are all of these wicks right here. And I see it's tapping into this level of 2470, a nice round psychological level. So I would be more so interested in sells below. I wouldn't trade really anything in this zone because I feel like just like it did here, it has the potential to bounce off of this level and then continue up. And that was actually one of the trades that I caught this week. And you can see that video on this channel. So below this level right here, I would be more so interested in sells. And then I would be interested into our four sells down to here around 2440, and that's 300 pips. That's an insane move, insane move. And that could be really, really good. And then there's opportunities for continued sells, but I don't know how optimistic I am on that. But depending on what happens in the market, the volume, and all of that, we could see continued sales pretty much down to, let me mark this off, from about this level, which is 2434, all the way down to, I would say, like my short term target would be 2417, and that's about 175 pips, which is a decent move. And then from there, you know how the gold market is. So it could do anything it wants and it moves with a lot of volume. We do have other economic data releases coming up this month. So this has just been the first week. And if you enjoyed this content here, then go ahead and give this video a like and definitely subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And then, like I said before, if you're with me to this point right now, then go ahead and type in the comments section, I'm with you, or I'm here, or something like that, just to let me know that you're in the building. I'll see you later.